Come on, Hogan.
Left a little bit of a roll on the table there on that lag. So I'm delighted to be joined by John Chaplin, who's one of the England team managers for, who is it you? England team manager for?
That's right, for the England students pool team.
Excellent. And so who is it that playing here that representing the England students?
Rich Wharton, who's at the table now. He was on last year's team that won in Glasgow.
Yeah. And also the defending champion in this event as well, of course.
That's right, yeah. He booked his place on the team by being an English-based university player to win the individual championship last season.
I love it. You scored fantastic, mate. You've taught me more about polo last month than anybody else.
So these matches, best of four. Really, I mean, on paper, Rich Wharton should be winning this one.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, the best of seven, first of four makes it sort of slightly less of a lottery than the first of threes that we were in the prelims yesterday. But still short enough distance that shocks can happen.
And Robert Hogan, is it, representing Cambridge as well there?
That's right, yeah.
Cambridge first team captain, I believe.
You could well be right, Pete. You've obviously got the inside track there that I'm not aware of.
You always told me earlier.
Yeah, that's it. Rob's a pretty good player in his own right, to be fair. He very narrowly missed out on last year's England students team. He lost in the very, very final match to Rob Cork, also from Cambridge, who was eventually appointed last season's team captain. So Rob's certainly no mug.
So, I mean, in terms of strength and depth, which universities are the ones to look out for in terms of strength of players, if you like?
Stuart Thompson, Cardiff.
I think in terms of having a squad of sort of depth, of talent, certainly the University of Ulster. In previous years, it's just been represented. It's sort of one of these universities with different campuses. So in previous years, they've just been represented.
Essex, 10 minutes.
So yeah, in previous years they've just been represented by the Coleraine campus, but this is the first year that they're now one sort of unified team for the University of Ulster. So yeah, certainly the Ulster team is very strong. Warwick have got quite a few talented Cuman as well.
I'm glad to hear you say Warwick. I'm from around there originally. I didn't go to that university night.
Where was your alma mater then, Pete?
I went to Marjohn's in Plymouth.
Yes, the University College of St Mark and St John.
Yes, that'd be the one.
There's a lad there, young lad called Adrian Criddle, who doesn't often make it to the sort of inter-university events here, but he often comes into the trials. He's got a decent record from mainstream pool.
Yeah, right. I think when I was at university, the UPC wasn't actually around, I don't think.
No, this is only our 6th season now, so we don't go back quite that far.
I don't know what you're trying to suggest.
I narrowly missed out on playing in it myself. I was studying a postgraduate course the very first year of UPC, but I dropped out by the time the event came round. Sort of got involved in helping them run it in the end instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, now this is marks the sort of beginning of our 6th season, or certainly the 8-ball, beginning of our 6th season of 8-ball.
Yeah. Definitely the bigger of the two as well, isn't it, with the 9-ball as well.
Certainly, yeah, the 9-ball's growing. I mean, we're very sort of on the cusp, if you like, of achieving books recognition for 9-ball as well now. There's certain sort of criteria. You have to have so many teams in the event, so many institutions represented, and we very, very narrowly missed out on books recognition for the 9-ball this season, but hopefully we push on and get that for next year.
Yeah. I mean, do you find that a lot of the 8-ball players play the 9-ball as well, or is it a different clientele?
It is. I have to admit, I don't have a lot of involvement with the 9-ball. That we tend to sort of rotate the staff around. Sort of, so different people aren't, the same people aren't doing all the events. So the 9-ball tends to be one that I'll traditionally miss because I tend to be needed at the 8-ball for sort of refereeing duties. I think by and large it's the same sort of group of players, more, nowhere near as many of them, but I think it tends to be just those sort of from the 8-ball, a bit more enthusiastic about sports in general. Rich is looking good here for the first frame.
Yeah, I think I'd fancy running those 3 balls out. I would be surprised if he missed these 3.
He had a chance before though, and sort of made hard work of it, just left one over the pocket.
I suppose he's queuing a little bit cold. It's his first sort of... He didn't play the team, did he? So
that's right, yeah. This is Rich's first match of the weekend.
And there's me saying that, and he's not come up with plumb position on that red.
Commentators, Chris.
Exactly.
Yeah, he'll have had a brief knock on the tables and played in a flyer last night, but this is his first taste of the action for this year.
Again, a reputation as a big money player as well, Rich Wharton.
Yes.
So he's probably not used to playing at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, he's probably a bit of a pool vampire, yeah. Been struggling a bit with his health as well. I think he's come down with a little bad of tonsillitis lately, so
right.
Be interesting to see how he copes with that today.
Yeah. It's a good shot.
That's an excellent shot from Rob Hogan. That should be enough for him to pinch the first frame.
He's got the right angle here to just run the cue ball through as well.
Just got to watch that middle pocket.
Yeah, put the black in the right hand middle pocket.
Missable when he's jacking up like this.
It's a good shot, well controlled.
It should do it. It's the first frame to Rob Hogan.
Bit of a strange frame, that one, really. Both players getting a couple of chances.
Yeah, suddenly maybe a little bit of nerves with the old with being on the TV table.
Made a big impact to the number of players you've been able to take in the singles event this year, isn't it, because of the move to the Vauxhall Holiday Park?
Certainly, yeah, it's massive. It's obviously the sort of primary incentive was rolling our Shield and Championship stroke trophy sort of levels of team play into one weekend, but the knock-on effect is that sort of having all these extra tables at our disposal, we've as good as doubled the number of players that can play in the singles now, as well as increasing the distances as well. I think traditionally we've been looking at about sort of circa 180 players each year in the singles. I think this year there were 385 entries. Certainly a good achievement for whoever comes through that field.
Yeah, definitely. Certain players seeded in that because obviously it's not an equal draw, so I imagine there's some.
Yeah, that's right. We have 16 players are seeded directly into the round of 128.
Okay.
Those seedings sort of quite a complex system, but works on a 3-year system with the last 2 years given sort of equal weight, if you like, and then the sort of the first year in the cycle 3 years ago given half as much weight as those other 2 years.
Yeah.
So sort of takes a player's record into account over the last 3 seasons. I suppose the only deviation with that is that the holder is always seeded number 1.
Yeah.
It's often the case with most cue sports.
I was having a chat with Rich just before the match, and we know Rich from stuff we covered last year on the Oracle tour, and he has a very bad record in front of our cameras.
Yeah, I believe he lost to a young lad, Jack Whelan.
Jack
from the
Whelan,
Derby
that's right,
area.
yeah.
Jack plays for me in Interleague, Paul. I'm Jack's captain at Interleague level,
right.
so slightly split loyalties there for me. Yeah, I think Richard played Jack a couple of months previous to that at the tournament at Skegness, and
Right.
had a sort of fairly comprehensive victory over Jack up there, and then he fell down a bit in front of your watchful gaze.
That's right.
Tony Kerner to the competition desk, please. Tony Kerner.
It's a good shot, then.
Yeah, possible chance to finish here for Rob. He's going to have to put this in the middle and do something pretty nice with
Looks
the
a bit
white.
tricky. I'm not sure whether it passes that yellow to the middle pocket.
Really? Okay. Have a good look at it.
Pretty tight, I think.
You must have been right, Pete.
Trying to take it on anyway.
Never know. Not just squeezing.
Yeah. So let's try and take on a shot like that. Sort of sets out his intentions for the course of the match, really.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad thing to attack a player like Rich. You know, Rich, he's known as quite a sort of a aggressive, sort of quite skillful potting player, but he knows the rules pretty well as well.
Mm.
I think, you know, when you play sort of players at this level, it's quite often a good idea to be a little bit more sort of aggressive. You know, you don't often sort of get second chances. So sometimes, if you get a first chance, you've got to pretty much take the ball by the horns and have a go at it. Rich just got to be a little bit careful now. 1-0 down. I won't want to be going 2-0 down in a race to 4.
No, short race as well sometimes can be regarded as a little bit of a lottery as well. So going like 2 frames behind him might be a difficult way back for him, really. He's not got ideal position here either.
No, I just think he'll be looking to bail out somewhere. Maybe sort of play a snooker somewhere, but not immediately obvious where that's going to be. Saying that he's looking at the black already, so who knows?
It's yellow going top left, is it? Yeah, it is. There's a bit of a two-way shot there because he's played it and he's ended up pretty much safe as well.
Yeah. I'm not sure the body language, it might just be tight as to whether he can get through to this red. I presume he can't pot it.
I was just going to see if I could make a better informed decision of whether he can see it from the other camera, but it's no better.
He's certainly playing the gap, but probably just a safety.
That's a foul. 2 visits sent to Rich Wharton, so
You'd be thinking of be taking these away, Pete?
you've got to think so with 2 visits. He didn't want to waste his first visit with that ball, though. I think he wanted to move the tough ball there. Was the yellow at the top end of the table, in my opinion.
Yeah.
On the
Not
top
so
rail.
much, yeah, certainly, if he gets on it nicely, he's a player of Rich's calibre is not really going to miss it, but it's getting on and off it.
Yeah.
But not a disaster to have covered that corner. It keeps him in the game as long as he likes. Should you just bring that bad ball out at the top of the table now, Pete? I'd be very tempted.
was going to wait and see what Rich did.
6 and 2 threes, I suppose. He's got the other bad one out, so
Yeah,
puts a bit of pressure on Rob now to find a pretty good safety shot from somewhere.
that's not easy queuing from there either.
No.
With the quite close to that yellow ball, and he's on the top cushion as well.
Not a bad result at all for Rob, that's not. Rich may well choose to attack them, but he's going to have to take the easy one out, I think, if he wants to do that.
Yeah.
See him just glancing off the one towards the bottom right corner. Maybe just waiting for a better chance.
Yeah, he's gone for the percentages there. Playing the safer option. I think I'd have probably taken those balls out there, or attempted to take the balls out there, I'd say.
I think I'd have chickened out, Pete.
I've never been known for my safety play.
Rob Hogan's having a good think about this one.
You're playing the 30-second rule.
Well, strictly speaking, the rules should be enforced. We're playing World 8-Ball Pool Federation rules, and it is part of the rules, so it should be enforced. But obviously, there isn't a stop clock on the tables at this point. It would be probably by the quarterfinals tonight when we'll actually be having table referees on each match with the stopwatches. Yeah, strictly speaking, they should be observing that. Very difficult to police though when we've got so many matches and
Definitely, yeah, I
so
agree.
many tables and so few of those officials.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially with one of them sat here doing nothing. Rob's chosen to ask the question then.
He's now got a chance of moving this tricky yellow then if he wants to take it on, but
I don't think he's got a lot of choice but to take it on now, Pete. I think whatever safety shot he played from there, he'd leave Rob a pot, so he'll be having a go at these. I mean, he looks unhappy with it, but it looks pretty good from here.
yeah, just thinking the same thing. At least he's on the yellow.
He looks pretty straight on it, just roll it in and hold for either of these two. Well, there we go, he's have to play a little cannon, come out absolutely perfect.
That passes the black as well into the corner, so it is absolutely perfect, you're right.
Yeah, I quite like that shot, Pete. There's a lot of players there would try and screw it back up the table and maybe manufacture a pot for the corners, but I quite favour just dropping them in and putting them in the middle.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So level score then at 1 apiece.
Craig Ledger and Ashley Edwards, the competition desk, please.
The two of these guys know each other quite well, Pete. Anglia Ruskin is based in Cambridge. I believe there's two sites, but Rich is studying at the Cambridge site, so
That's right, yeah, yeah.
they know each other pretty well.
Yeah, seen him a few times round at Mickey Flynn's American Pool in Cambridge.
Sure.
Famous club out there. So you reckon they've played each other before?
Certainly, yeah, they'll know each other very well. When the draw came out on Sunday night, Rich saw that if Rob got through his final prelim round and they'd be playing each other, Rich was sending him a little text message, giving him a bit of banter. It's a pretty big break he's got on in there.
Yeah, actually, funny enough, we've been sat here pretty much all day trying to sort this equipment out before we started, but we've noticed a running theme in that this table's not been breaking particularly well.
Really?
Yeah. It seemed to be pretty heavy on the break. Whether it was the people attempting the break, I don't know.
Maybe it's just the pressure that they
It could
constantly
be.
think they're being recorded.
That's right.
There's a chance here then for Rob, but he's going to have to play some kind of cannon at some point. Don't think he can get through to the potting angle on this red to the bottom right corner.
No.
Might have the angle now. He's sort of having a good look. Maybe not.
Manufacturing angle, isn't he? Yeah.
I think he might just be slightly the wrong side. Trouble is with finishes like this, you don't want to sort of take too many balls off and then leave the cannon till last and not get it.
No.
You take all the traffic off and then leave a nice clear table for Rich. Do you think he can run this through, Pete, and just land on the one below the black? He's looking at running
it looks very straight, actually, from where I'm sitting. There might be a touch of an angle to... He might be able to come down in between the yellow and the black, like you say.
He's having a look at the red just above the black to middle. He's certainly on the one to...
He's got the one to the middle, I think.
Has he run past the one to corner?
I think he's... the yellow covers him for the one to the corner, I think, so he's just overhit that slightly, but I think he is on the one to the middle, so he's got second
the
prize.
opportunity to get the bad one out as well. Oh dear, he's a little bit unlucky there.
Yeah, a bit unlucky.
Thought I might have gone directly into that, sort of stunned straight down into the yellow, pushed the red towards the bag. Should have had a shot on the other red if that didn't work out.
And playing it the way he played it, anything better than full ball would have been
certainly, yeah,
a better result.
Definitely a little bit unlucky. Going into the black here possibly, so we've got to be a little bit careful.
Good recovery, got a little bit lucky with the jaw as well.
He's had a result. See if he can make the best of it.
Got into the cue ball a little bit much there.
Just give it a fair old hit, but made sure he was up there.
Just needs to roll this one in now into the centre.
Just got to watch the white ball going in towards this corner. Maybe it'll just drop it in.
So 2-1 it is now into Rob Hogan against the defending champion Rich Wharton.
Not a great deal Rich could have done about that frame, really.
That's breaking well, wasn't it?
Yeah, certainly the first frame he could have perhaps done something about losing that one, but he can't really do a fat lot about that one.
Not the world's best break either.
Rich has gone there. He's tried to go straight back at him there with a big break, but obviously it's an unfair break there. The balls will be re-racked and Rob will get 2 visits.
See, I told you this table was breaking difficult.
You've got a crystal ball, Pete. Give me 6 numbers for tomorrow night. So Rob's going to have 2 visits at these then now. So chance to put Rich under a fair bit of pressure.
I'm glad you said that. I was just about to clarify that with the old foul on the break.
That's right, yeah.
I know if the white goes in, it's only 1 visit.
You've still got to make 4 balls hit the cushion or pot an object ball.
Yep.
So if let's say Rob had, let's say Rich, I beg your pardon, had just skimmed the edge of the pack and gone into one of the corner pockets, it wouldn't save him if he hadn't made 4 of the pack hit the cushion.
Hits a cushion, right? Okay.
Going in off wouldn't save him. The balls would still be re-racked and Rob would still get 2 visits.
Okay. And it looks like he's got a nice little layout on the table here.
Yeah, certainly. Whether these 2 yellows are to the right corner or just cancelling each out or not, not entirely sure.
I think the one just to the left of the black pots into the left corner is the one at the bottom near the red doesn't pass at the moment. So he's going to have to try and move that one or play it to the opposite corner, perhaps.
Shouldn't be a problem with his 2 visits.
No.
Just waste his visit getting that ball out. Probably as good a chance as any to do it now while he's sort of not ideal position. Looks like he's having a go at this one to the middle.
Perhaps my eyes deceive me, it does pass the corner. Either that or he's going to try and move it.
I don't see a lot of value in potting it if it does go, because he's sort of, you'd imagine he'd have to roll it. He's not really going to be ideal on the last yellow. Oh, there we go. We were both
so he saved his 2 visits then for this last yellow.
That's the one, it certainly has. This bad yellow to the right corner that we didn't notice.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see if he's touching it now. If he's touching it, makes this shot a whole lot easier for him. He's shaking his head, so I'd imagine he's not touching it. So obviously he can't just roll away from it. He's got to make a cushion somewhere. Looks like he could be going towards the black if he plays this shot. Whether the black's sort of blocked from that middle pocket by the red. It's not a bad shot, but it's a tester for him.
I think I'd have been inclined to play the cue ball towards the right-hand side rail there off the yellow.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much sort of. I'm not sure if he could have played it thin enough to avoid the in-off. It's difficult to say from here, but if he knocks this one in, he should have a fairly routine black pressure pot though, bridging as well. He's decided he's going to have a go at it, and it's not worked out for him.
It's landed safe as well, so it does mean that.
Pressure's slightly off for Rich, yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd probably say advantage Rich really when the way the balls are now.
Don't blame Rob for having a go at that. No. There's not a lot of point in rolling it down the cushion because Rich wouldn't have needed that bag for a finish. So I certainly don't blame him for committing to the pot full-blooded. Got the best safety from Rich. He's just pushed 2 of the reds safe together. I imagine Rich will start, so obviously got 2 shots here. I'd imagine he'll begin by just bringing out the red that Rob's just played. Again, here we go, he's just showing us how attacking he is. He's going to pot this one over the corner and break it out by the looks of it. Oh, there you go, I'm wrong again. You must be able to see it to the other corner.
Either that or he can hear you.
Yeah. Highly probably just trying to make a fool of his national team manager. Or send him back to trials this year.
Yeah. He didn't need to move it. So it actually turned out to be quite a good shot, that one. He was able to play the other red into the right-hand corner, so...
0 risk, and he's kept to 2 shots, so should be able to use them at worst to open up the 2 bad ones up the top of the table. Played that very nicely. Possibly too well. He looks like he's pretty straight on this ball to the corner.
Yeah. If he rolls it through, he might be able to play that the top one of these two reds into the middle. He can get the cue ball onto the bottom rail.
If he just sort of gets nice and straight or slightly past it.
Oh, he's running through.
Yeah, it's just a little bit. I think he's ideal though here. I think he might be just.
He's not got the best
into
angle,
the other
no.
one. Yeah, he may well choose to just knock them out here and set one up over the middle, leave himself on the other one.
That's a good shot.
Wants to keep his two.
Well, he's probably going to need them now unless he can roll this one in.
Certainly think he'll take it sort of down the long rail to the bottom corner. If he gets it, he's going to be on the black. But don't need to sneak behind the yellow.
No, and that's quite a poor shot, that one.
Certainly, yeah, it was a long way off the. Certainly a long way off the cushion, wasn't it?
He's overcut it, really.
Just goes to show how fast the tables are as well. I was just about to say he played it at a nice pace to sort of deliberately leave it short, so he got himself on the black and it's just carried on going. Just got to be a little bit careful here. Played that pretty nicely. I think he'd have preferred not to have got the double kiss, but
looking at the situation in these balls here, I think we've got a little bit of time left in this frame yet.
certainly, yeah. I don't think Rob's got a great deal of option but to just glance off this yellow and try and snooker Rich. Oh, he's going to let Rich see the ball, certainly by the looks of it then. It's a bit risky. Has he got the double?
That's a great shot. What a fantastic shot that was.
I suppose it was a shot to nothing in that he suddenly hadn't left Rich an easy pot. He would have had to have gone across the table.
That's right. So this then for a 3-1 lead.
Still a bit of pressure on this though, with the red sat over the bag waiting if it's missed.
And he has missed it. That could be the reprieve that Rich Wharton was looking for, because that's the difference between 2-all and 3-1, that was.
It's a massive difference in first of all. Well, that surprises me. I'd have thought Rich would have just bumped that in and took the black to the same middle that Rob attempted it in. Just certainly shouldn't miss this, but slightly difficult queuing over the pocket.
And he has rolled it in, so it is 2 apiece. Really Rob should be leading 3-1 now.
Certainly, definitely, yes. I suppose you could say Rich sort of missed a chance in the first, but certainly Rob's...
When Sterling leads, Luke leading Cambridge, left was Luca, Manchester, Rob Hogan, bottom Chester, David Miller, Kent, Kenny Ritchie, Edge Hill, Greg McGregor, St Andrews, Christopher Tunnicliffe, Salford, Jonathan Tyrrell, Cardiff, Aaron Bell, Ulster, Peter Farrell, Edge Hill, Ben Williamson, Essex, Dale Bryan, Nottingham, David Hamilton, Chester, Lee Morris, West of England, Anthony Whittaker, Essex. Chris Canning, Queens, in case you're not aware, you are by the last 64.
That's the last of the individual championship, last sort of round of 128 matches going on now, I think. Pete?
Yeah. Round of 128, probably the official round 1, is it, I suppose?
That's right, I suppose so, yeah.
With all the pre-qualifiers yesterday.
The 2 rounds yesterday, we sort of call those the first and second rounds of the prelims, I suppose. So yeah, this is the first round proper.
He's come up dry on that break as well.
Yeah, let's first look at the balls for Rich this time. They're certainly not they're not bad, but they're not easy by any means either. Giving it plenty of thought. Pretty crucial frame now. Whoever loses this is obviously going to be 1 down with 2 to play. It's pretty much the last chance saloon for whoever drops this frame.
And he's also a single eliminator as well, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. There's only 1 chance in this. At the end of tomorrow night, when we've played the final, there'll only be 1 man left unbeaten, and that'll be the champion.
Bit tough for some of the players that have had quite a bit of distance to travel and then
Aaron Bell,
End up
Ulster,
going out in the first round.
Yeah, certainly. I guess that's the nature of the beast. But yeah, certainly. There's a lot of players come here sort of purely for the singles as well. There's one chap came from just near where I'm from. He came from Nottingham Trent University, so he's made a good sort of 3-hour journey down here and lost his first match in the prelims last night. So pretty long journey back for him.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a good weekend away, though. I think a lot of the players here, they're sort of even those that haven't entered the singles or they perhaps aren't playing for a team, they'll stay on for the whole sort of weekend and sort of enjoy the banter and the social side of the weekend.
So the UPC lay on anything else other than the pool?
I beg your pardon?
Do they lay on anything else other than the pool, like any other entertainment during the weekend? Or?
Not so much the UPC. I mean, by the time we've sort of finished running the tournament for the day, we're ready to put our feet up and go out and find a nice restaurant and have a proper meal. So, but yeah, there's plenty of other stuff going off on the side.
West of England, Anthony Whittaker, Essex. Lee Morris, 10 minutes.
Yeah, there's plenty of other stuff actually going off on the site that the actual campsite themselves have organised. There's a sort of Starlight Room type disco type nightclub next door. There's disco and karaoke type stuff in there tonight and tomorrow night.
Shot to middle there from Rich. Rolled that one in nicely to the centre pocket there. He's not come up plumb with any sort of position unless you can see the yellow in between the black and the red in the centre of the table.
Is he perhaps just looking at taking this yellow off the red?
Yeah, I think he could be. He did try and take it and flick it off the red, but it didn't work. And he's left Rob with another chance here.
I'm surprised Rich has attacked them really like that. I suppose it asks the question of Rob, but he's cleared a bit of traffic for Rob and he's given Rob a chance to sort of go back into the lead again now.
I think part of the mistake there was caused by Richard's his need to find position on that yellow just below the black.
Yeah,
I mean, the play, he's obviously missed the yellow that he did take on, but he didn't get position either, so possibly on his mind.
See what Rob can do with these now. I suppose there's a relative degree of safety for Rob. He'd have to sort of do pretty well to leave Rich apart from him. Looks pretty relaxed to be fair, Rob. He doesn't seem at all intimidated by playing the defending champion and number 1 seed, first match out in the first round proper.
No, he's played quite well. I mean, he had that chance in the last frame as well, which really should have put him 3-1 up. But he hasn't seemed to let his head drop. He hasn't seem to let him affect himself so far.
Still got a little bit of work to do here.
He's finished high on those. I don't think he can take the one that he was aiming for. I think he was looking at the bottom one of these two reds here.
Certainly, yeah.
I don't think the other one passes.
No, I don't. I think they're cancelling each other out.
Maybe he's taking it on.
Pretty quickly.
And we're both wrong, yet again.
I think it must be the angle of our commentary position.
Nice little screw shot there to give himself this black into the right corner.
It should be 3-2 to Rob Hogan.
So Rich Wharton then with all the work to do now.
There we go, finds himself in that fabled last chance saloon. The point of no return.
Absolutely. So breaking then to keep himself in this match. He certainly hasn't been at his best throughout the course of this match at all, Richard Wharton.
I don't know if I'd say he hasn't settled, but he's just, like you say, just not quite been the player that we know he can be.
Charlotte Scarf, Warwick, Anthony Robinson, St Andrews, Tom Wilson, York, Rupert Howard, Reading, Matt Robson, York, Anthony Bennett, Reading, Mike Walsh, York, Christopher Charnock, Edge Hill, Neil Hardy, Sheffield, Matthew Friend, Canterbury, George Williams, Durham, Mungo Pay, York, Leo Hughes, Essex, Tom Birch, York, and Michael Rogers, Strathclyde, Gregory Taylor, York.
Rich has just trolled Rob that he's going to take the reds here. Be interesting to see whether he carries on with his aggressive sort of tactics from the last few frames or whether he's just going to tighten up a little bit. And there's our answer.
Neither set looked particularly easy, actually.
Rob's on the yellows there, so what's he going to do? Possibly push this one down the long rail to the corner? Well, I think that was what he tried.
Do you think he might trying to take that into the centre?
Possibly. It's difficult to say sometimes, you know. You see a lot of those sort of balls, you know, it looks impossible, but they're trying to sort of push them all the way down the rail, and they always catch that sort of far bump of the middle back. It's sort of one of these shots that doesn't look possible, but it happens that often.
That's right, Rich trying to use that shot there to try and break open that tricky red there.
Not a bad shot from him though, sort of kills one of Rob's yellows for the time being. I'd imagine he'll probably get it straight out, maybe double it across to the other corner. Well, this is a risky shot, this is very risky.
Just didn't quite find the angle, did he?
No, he's obviously he's committed to it 100%, but he's knocked Rich's bad red out in the process. It'll be interesting to see whether Rich takes the ball by the horns and attempts the finish now, or just tries to make things a little easier for himself first. There's our answer again.
Yeah, just happy just to play a containing safety there.
I'm not overly keen on that shot, to be honest, Pete. It's forcing Rob to bring the bad yellow out, so it kind of means that if Rich does decide to go after this shot, there's going to be a bit more pressure on him than there would have been otherwise.
He has almost knocked a red safe there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it goes to the middle pocket anymore, but I think it certainly goes to this bottom right corner.
Yeah.
It might be a little tighter than I first thought, to be fair. Just come up a touch.
Williams, Essex, Tom Birch, York, 10 minutes. Gregory Taylor, York, 10 minutes.
these players being called now on the clock, not turning up for their match.
That's right, yeah. If they're not sort of present when they're first called, they get 10 minutes to turn up, and then if they're not with there within 10 minutes, then they're scratched from the draw sheet. Not a nice thing they have to do, but we've obviously got a lot of people there, a lot of matches.
That's right, you've got to fit the schedule in. That's right, you can't hang about really.
They get 10 minutes from when their match is called, and then if they're not there by then we've unfortunately got to scratch them and move on to the next game. Interesting situation for Rob here. He could have a go at these if he wanted. I think I would be 3-2 up. I'm not sure I can see a better safety shot, to be honest. I might be attempting to just clip this ball in the middle of the table towards the left middle pocket, going somewhere towards the black.
He's taking one of these down here next to the black, I think, isn't he?
I'm not really entirely sure where the cue ball's going here.
This is the part, so Rich now really has to take these balls in.
Does this, the body language suggest the red doesn't pass to the opposite middle? He's going to have a...
No, I don't think it does.
He may be able to take it off the yellow, which Rob's just moved, to this bottom right corner. It's a pretty big shot. The yellow's quite a distance off the bag. He's having a good look at it to that middle. A little bit of pressure on Rich now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Doesn't get this shot right, it could well be his last one.
Well, I mean, do you think also perhaps there's, he's getting to the point now where he's going to have to try and take these reds out because there's nowhere really left for him to play a decent safety at the moment, other than perhaps this left-hand side of the table over by this left bottom corner.
Again, it's a very sort of high-risk shot, though, isn't it? Now with all Rob's yellows and the black sort of nice and out in the open. Whether he takes a pot on, or whether Rich takes a pot on, or whether he elects for the safety option, he's got to get it right. If Rob gets back to the table, you think he's going to have a chance.
That's a clever shot, using the yellow to pop the red into the corner.
I'm not sure he didn't want the bag, Pete, to be honest. By where he's left the white, I'm not sure he didn't want the bag. In fact, I'm pretty sure he's just played to get the bag there and used the yellow to get his cushion. He's not left himself a fat lot apart from the red to left middle now, and he's still got the problem of this red near the right middle.
Northern Bay, Oxford, Doyle Cadets, Bath, Andrew Smith, Robert Gordon, Matt Champ, Portsmouth, Rob Cox, Cambridge, Richard Floyd, Newcastle, Jeremy Clifford, Lancaster, Danny Terry, Aberdeen.
That's an absolutely fabulous shot.
We saw him play probably the worst shot of the match. Sorry to take that red down the left-hand rail. He's just played probably one of the best shots of the match in that one.
Yeah, queuing over the cushion like that. Still a little bit of work to be done. You'll want to get nice and close to this last red, just make the queuing nice and easy. I'm not entirely sure he played for that gap, Pete.
So, makes it a tough one, this does. Especially the fact that, I think it's a bit more tougher because that red is slightly off the cushion. If it was touching the cushion, I'd have fancied him to knock that in.
Yeah, certainly, yeah. Yeah, got to be very careful when it's just off. The softer you play these, the more chance it'll give the bag to take it, but you've still got to hit it right, and it's not going to take that one, I'm afraid, Rich. So then, Rob Hogan with the defending champion house. To be fair, you've got to say you can't really see where the problem's going to come here.
the yellows will certainly look available, and obviously once he moves this yellow on the right hand side here, the black will also be available to that right corner pocket, so choice of pockets for the black as well. It's not really
just a case of whether Rob can hold himself together.
That's right.
If he was practising back in Cambridge, he'd take these out 10 times out of 10. Not a bad first shot. I think he'd like to be a little perhaps just a little bit between there. He's
so, yeah,
a bit lower for the yellow
short,
to middle, a bit higher up, and he had the sort of yellow to the same pocket. Still not bad.
Good recovery though. Plays that yellow in the helmet.
Robbie's cued that lovely. You get the picture. He's just one good positional shot away from winning now. He's just slightly undercut that one. Certainly not bad by any means, but he's still just that one good positional shot away from wrapping the match up. If he's reasonably straight on the one sort of nearest the middle of the table to the top right corner, may just be able to stun in and hold for the yellow near the black.
He doesn't want to do a lot with the cue ball, really, does he? Just wants to just stun that cue ball really on this yellow.
It's a sort of shot where a little bit of tension in the arm, you can overhit these by quite a way. Certainly cueing over the rail as well. He's played it well. He's slightly under the rail again. It'd be interesting to see what sort of an angle he's got here. If he's low on it, he's going to have to do something fairly impressive with the white.
That's a good shot.
There we go then. This black
pressure
to knock the number one seed out. Just taking a little time to compose himself there.
For the match, and the number one seed is out. So what do you think of that match then, John?
Yeah, you've got to say it's you know, even with the best of 7, the first of 4 format, it's a pretty major shock.
Absolutely. Well, I don't think Rich is going to be particularly happy with himself.
No, it's not a lot else for Rich to do but sit there and stew over that one, I'm afraid. Now he's not got a team here that he's playing for this weekend. He's purely in town for the singles, so yeah, pretty major shock.
So you think Rob now can go all the way after that win?
Well, you know, who knows? He's given an excellent account of himself there. There's obviously a lot of pressure on him, playing under the sort of the watchful eye of the Q Sport TV cameras, but also with the sort of all the crowd of people around that have come to watch Rich. So yeah, you never know. You perhaps wouldn't put him amongst the favourites, but you know, he's certainly just proved he's capable of beating anyone here.
Yeah. We'll be back shortly with a last 64 match.